So throughout the ownership of this G35, I've basically taken care of most of the maintenance items that need to be taken care of. And with that, I've taken care of a lot of suspension components in the front that are definitely common problems on the G35s. So the last piece of rubber that I have on the G35 in the front suspension is going to be the strut bushings. The strut bushings in the front are collapsed, so I'm going to be replacing that bushing and basically putting a new one in. So usually when you replace it, you replace the arm or you can replace the bushing with a polyurethane. But I wanted to go ahead and test out these GKTech spherical bearing bushings. These are essentially just solid bushings and they have, you know, play on them so they can articulate. So since I'm going to the track, I want to make sure that I take care of that bushing, and since it's already collapsed on itself and smushed in, I wanted to make sure that I could go ahead and install a new bushing and make sure that it's good to go. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but this is basically smushed down, meaning that the rubber's just given up. So I'm going to be replacing this bushing that is connected to my coilover, and this is the last one that's going to be taken care of. So I did some research on that bushing specifically to see which one's the best one, and a lot of people were using energy suspension but ended up saying that they were having some problems with it. So I ended up just saying screw it, I'll end up doing spherical bearings since I've been wanting to use them for a while. I definitely want to make sure that all the maintenance is taken care of before I go ahead and take this car to the track. So this is just a maintenance item that I need to replace, but instead of just replacing it with rubber or polyurethane, I'm doing spherical bearings. Alright guys, so the wheel is taken off and I'm gonna go ahead and take off the lower control arm, and then I'll be able to press out the old one and put in the new one. Alright guys, so I managed to take off the lower control arm, and what I wanted to do is make sure I had a socket or some sort of adapter that I can go ahead and put over so I can press on and take off the old bushing. I ended up finding this socket, and it's a 1 1/8 socket, so this went perfectly flush over it. So you want the outside of the socket to go on the rim, on the middle portion of the rubber bushing. It's going to fit flush, it's going to fit perfect, and I'll be able to go ahead and press this out no problem. So let's go ahead and press this out. Alright guys, so I have the lower control arm on the press now. I want to make sure that the socket is on flush and right, and after that, making sure everything's good, then we'll be able to go ahead and put the press onto the socket and get that to go through. Alright guys, so I got the bushing off of the lower control arm, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is off center. It's like slightly lower. Oh, this side you can definitely tell. It's like slightly lower than in the middle, so it's definitely just compressed downwards, so it's just normal wear and tear now. So here's the new one we're going to be installing. Like I said, this is spherical bushing, so it is going to be able to move a little bit, but this is a solid bushing essentially, so we're going to go ahead and install it right now, and then we'll go ahead and finish up. Alright guys, so the bushing is installed and it is all good to go. And while I was at it, I was looking at this inner bushing, just making sure everything's good. There's like a little tiny crack on it, but it doesn't look like it's detaching from it, so it's all good. Depending on how much I like having spherical bushings in the future, I might go ahead and replace this with a spherical bushing as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and put the inserts on the bushing and throw this in back on the car. Alright guys, so the car is done. I ended up putting the wheels on, torquing everything. Everything is good on it. It does feel different. It feels way better. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if me just torquing everything again made a big difference. I'm definitely going to have a review for you guys on the bushings themselves. I want to see if there's any noise that comes out of them, if I notice any harshness while driving it on the street. I'm very curious. I want to know, and you know, maybe longevity wise, I'll also be able to give you guys a review if I see that, you know, they mess up in 6 months, or if they mess up in 2 years, 3 years. I'll let you guys know. I'll basically have a kind of a review for that one on hold until it either messes up or I replace it because I, you know, can't deal with it or whatever it is. I'm excited to see how they turn out. I'm excited to see how I make the car perform, and I may or may not be putting that on the inner control arm bushings and the compression arms.
Go home, Joe. Go home. Oh, there's something on the lens.
Just developed scratches.
There we go.
Dude, you can see an up beautiful on you.
Oh, dude, what's up, beautiful?
Nothing much, you.
Oh, dude.
Dude, got him. Alright guys, so it has been 2 to 3 weeks since I installed the bushings, and I've had literally no complaints with them. I do think the handling did get better just because the bushing was floating. The rubber bushing was basically collapsed on itself. Since there's no movement, you can definitely notice a difference on how it handles, and I think it definitely helped out the car a lot. Like I did say in one of my previous videos, I am going to be racing in Streets of Willow, so that's going to be in November 6th. So be prepared for that one. That's a really big video coming for the channel, and I'm really excited for it. So I still have a lot to do to the G35. I still have to put brakes on it. I still have to do track tires. I have those ordered. I ended up ordering a helmet as well, so that should be coming soon. And other than that, I just have to basically make sure everything on the G35 is ready to go. So like doing an oil change on it, doing brake fluid exchange. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys learned something. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.